What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, breaking down the full card of Vettori versus Dolidze 2. First fight on the card, sorry. We got here Josiane Nunes versus Priscila Cachoeira. With this matchup here, both strikers, Josiane Nunes coming off 2-fight losing streak. Last one she lost to was Jacqueline Cavalcanti, so she just doesn't have the hand speed there, and I feel like Cavalcanti did pick her apart with her hand speed and footwork. So Josiane Nunes is very much of a stationary striker, throws some leg kicks and uses a jab well and does use a straight left. But other than that, I feel like the output's quite low, but her defense is pretty good. And going against someone like Priscila Cachoeira, she's more of a fighter, just tries to push forward, takes a lot of shots. She was damaged goods in the last couple of fights. She does call herself a zombie girl as well, so more of a fighter, pushes forward, uses a jab. She does have some power in her right hand. She did get the knockout over Lipsky a while back there, almost 3 years ago. The problem with the Priscila is, like I said, defensively not that great with the striking, and also gets taken down a fair bit. So I'm a little bit skeptical picking Priscila. I feel like Priscila, if she doesn't get the knockout here, I feel like Nunes could pick her apart and create different angles, even though she's a bit of a stationary fighter. Yeah, Nunes is a pick here, 88%, 12% Cachoeira, so I'm going to go with Nunes as well. Next up, we've got Seung Woo versus AJ Cunningham. Sorry about the noise in the background there. So Seung Woo is coming off a win streak, and he's more of a guy that he's very well rounded, so he's very good on staying in the range, throwing leg kicks and picking his shots nicely. He doesn't really throw too much output, but when he does throw some shots, he does have some nice combinations. More of a counter striker, to be honest, than anything, but he's got some very good takedowns as well, so it's very well rounded, and he's got some decent submissions on his record. Going against someone like AJ Cunningham, I don't really rate him to all that great. I wouldn't say he's very tall, but he does have, when he was striking, he does have his chin up in the air as much as he pushes forward, and he also gets tagged up a fair bit. He is coming off a knockout loss against Ludovic Klein. Before that, had a win outside UFC, then got knocked out by Stephen Nguyen in the Contender Series. So, look, offensively, all right, but yeah, defensively, I just don't like it the way he's got chin in the air and does eat a lot of shots. Grappling-wise, he's not too bad. He gets taken down a fair bit. He also has some decent takedowns himself, so he is decent at also setting up some submissions on the ground. So, yeah, grappling's good, but striking wise, not that clean. I'm going to go with Seung Woo here. I feel like he's going to be a cleaner striker, defensively a lot more tighter compared to Cunningham. So I feel like he could get the knockout here over AJ Cunningham as well. And he's more well-rounded compared to AJ Cunningham. So Seung Woo's a pick here. Next up, we got Josias Musasa versus Carlos Vera. Josias here is coming off a Contender Series win. Split win. But Musasa is good with his striking. He does have a nice jab and a nice left straight. The only problem with Josias here is he overextends on his striking way too much, and he does throw a lot of hook flurries that completely miss his target. And also, when he does overextend on his combinations, he gets taken down a fair bit. But he does well to get up on his feet. But the problem is he needs to stop overextending on his combinations and loading up. Yeah, more so not getting overzealous as well. So going against someone like Carlos Vera, he's not the best striker, to be honest. He's more of a grappler. Got very good jiu-jitsu as well. So Vera's not going to try to keep this fight in the stand up. He can throw some leg kicks and some nice body kicks, but yeah, boxing wise not that great. But does get also taken down a fair bit. So with it against Rinya, like he was trying to set up submissions, leg locks, and arm bars, trying to do the whole lot against Rinya, but yeah, didn't succeed, and Rinya pretty much took him down, Vera, and out grappled him and pretty much just controlled him throughout the fight. So Vera is not very good striking wise. I feel like he could get knocked out, but yeah, this one might go to decision, just the way Musasa fucking just overextends and overloads on his shot. So yeah, just needs to tighten it up there a bit and not get overzealous. So yeah, Vera's better on the Vera. We could see him pulling off a upset win here with a submission, but I don't know. I don't know, man. Like I feel like he could get knocked out, to be honest. But yeah, he does stay on range with his striking as well. So Musasa's a pick here, 95%, 5% Vera. I'm gonna go with Musasa here. I feel like he could get the knockout. Just gotta tighten it up with the striking a bit there. Next up, we got Sam Hughes versus Stephanie Luciano. Sam Hughes' records all over the place. Win, loss, win, loss. Elise Reed lost to Piera Rodriguez. Morum win. Yasmin lost and win against Dudovkova. So split win there. She's more of a push forward striker. She'll uses a jab well, and try to set some traps there with the counters. But her takedown defense is not all that great. Like, she was taken down a lot against Victoria there. But, you know, obviously, I feel like Victoria didn't do too much there with doing much damage on the ground there. So Sam Hughes, yes, all right, not bad striking, not the best to watch fighting wise, not entertaining wise. But yeah, I feel like with going against someone like Stephanie Luciano, she's a more of a striker as herself as well. She'll push forward, use a jab, use some leg kicks here and there. And I feel like she'll use a reach better, but she also gets tagged up a bit too. Does have grappling in the back pocket where she could, you know, probably try to get the fight to the ground and use a grappling and set up a submission, but she's more of a girl that would try to keep it on the stand up and use her striking. So, and I feel like she'll probably throw more output, to be honest, compared to Sam Hughes in this fight. So I'm gonna go with Stephanie Luciano here, 77%, and 23 to Hughes. I just feel like hopefully Luciano tries to get the fight on the ground and not try to keep it on the stand up there. So Stephanie Luciano is a pick there. Next up, we got Yuneisy Duben versus Carli Judice. With this matchup here, Yuneisy Duben's got a lot of knockouts on her record, like a lot. She's coming off the contender series win against Shannon Clark. She completely flatlined her with an overhand. The problem with Yuneisy Duben, as much as she's got a lot of KOs on her records, she got power in the right hand. When she's on the back foot and she's circling the outside, she was getting tagged up a fair bit. But her chin did held up. She does use a clinch, throw some knees as well, so she does mix it up. But yeah, her striking is very good. It's just a little bit of a bit skeptical on her defensive striking, but definitely got some power in her hands. And going against someone like Carli Judice, as much as she's come off 2 losses on the contender series and Gabriel Hernandez split loss, she's more of a striker herself as well. Use some leg kicks and targets a lot of body kicks she throws. Offensively, not that great with the jabs and whatnot, but defensively gets tagged up a fair bit. So her chin's quite high in the air, and I feel like Yuneisy Duben is going to look for that chin and knock her out. So, yeah, it's another fighter Carli having a chin up in the air I just don't like. But yeah, I feel like Duben's definitely going to get a knockout here. So Duben, 86% picking her, 63% knockout, which is pretty much right, and 14% Judice. And Judice, I just don't rate her very well as a fighter, to be honest. So Yuneisy's a pick here. Next up, we've got on the prelim, Waldo Cortes-Acosta versus Ryan Spann. I think Ryan Spann is moving up. Let me check, sorry. Yes, he is. He's moving up weight to heavyweight, going against Waldo Cortes here. Cortes is okay. His only loss was like against Marcos Rogerio de Lima. He did string up some nice wins there. Only problem with Waldo is it's been a while since he got a knockout too, eh? So yeah, he's uses a jab well. He's not the best striker. It is heavyweight division. Throws a lot of leg kicks, and he did use his takedowns a lot there against Spann because it was known for having knockout power. So Waldo probably didn't want to stay on the stand up there and use his takedowns. So he did that well. So he does have that in his back pocket. Going against someone like Ryan Spann, he's skeptical as well because he's had a lot of losses by getting knocked out and submitted. His win was against someone's veteran, like pretty much past their prime of Vince Prooks submission. The problem with Ryan Spann, as much as he's good offensively, defensively he's fucking terrible. He's good, like, he's decent with striking and throwing leg kicks, but the output's just not there as well with the striking. He did have a win over Dominic Reyes with a power jab, but overall, striking output wise, defense not that great. Offense is okay, but yeah, he can get the fight to the ground and set up submissions as well, Ryan Spann. But he can also get submitted himself too. So yeah, offensively good, defensively not that great as well. So I don't know. I don't think this is the right move for him to go up to heavyweight. I think Waldo Cortes are gonna have more output in this fight. Unless Ryan Spann pulls out something out of his ass and gets the win here by submission or knockout. Like, he could get this fight to the ground and get a submission win over Costa. Like that, probably that's the way he could surprise us to get a win. But I don't know, man. I don't think heavyweight's probably the right way. I don't know. We'll see if his chin holds up to heavyweight, because at the moment it's not looking good in light heavyweight. Him getting knocked out as well. So I'm gonna go low confidence pick with a Cortes-Acosta 54. 46 with Spann, which is understandable. So Acosta's a pick here because I don't really know how well Ryan Spann will go at heavyweight. Next up, we've got André Lima versus Daniel Perez. With this matchup here, André Lima is coming off a win against Felipe Dos Santos, which is actually a pretty decent win because I did rate Dos Santos being a pretty good fighter. He did well against Manuel Cape, but that was on short notice as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that Felipe there, if they can build him up right, the UFC. André Lima, he's more of a guy he'll be pressure striking, uses jab and some nice left straights. Also throwing some leg kicks there, so he doesn't really throw too much output, but he's very good with the pressure. Also, he does have the grappling in his back pocket, so if the fight does hit the ground or someone tries to take him down, he's some nice judo trips in, tries to gets the fight on the ground pretty well. Takedown defense is all not bad, so he's got some good grappling and very good in setting up his submissions on the ground there, so he's pretty well rounded. Going against someone like Daniel Perez is coming off a win against Victor Marino. I was actually surprised that Victor lost to Daniel Perez, to be honest. Daniel Perez is more of a pressure striker himself too, so targeting the low leg kick. He more so just like pushes forward, throws his combinations. Last fight I've noticed that Perez was starting to slow down a bit in the later rounds, and he was starting to take some damage there against Victor. So yeah, he did slow down a bit. And the fight before that, he was taken down and submitted by Rafael. So he was taken down by Rafael and submitted there. So that wasn't really a good look. We could see this fight hitting the ground and Lima getting a submission over Daniel Perez in the later rounds, and him slowing down. So that could also be one of the cards there. But yeah, I'm not too sure about a knockout over Daniel Perez, but I'm definitely going to go with Lima. I feel like he's too well-rounded everywhere compared to Daniel Perez. So Lima's a pick here with 95%, 5% Perez. Next up on the main card, Kevin Vallejos versus Seung Woo Choi. Seung Woo Choi. Yeah, my bad. Kevin here is coming off he has a nice little win streak outside the UFC. He is coming off a KO win over Cam Teague. He's more of a striker. He has some nice combinations there, and those are some leg kicks as well in the range. So he is very good with striking. He did have the win over Cam Teague. He had some nice body shots there. Crumbled him, Cam Teague. So yeah, more of a striker. Going against someone like Seung Woo Choi. I like Seung Woo Choi because he can he's good fighter, but he can get knocked out and he can land on the end of bad decisions as well. So he was more of a guy who will pretty much stay in range, chop the lead leg, use his jab well, and he's got a nice right straight as well. So only problem is, you see his record, he's 11-7. He's coming off a loss against Steve Garcia. His chin can be exposed at times, and did get a win over Jano Aarons. But Jano Aarons is not in the UFC anymore now. I don't think so. And then Michael Triziano got knocked out by him, and then got a split loss against Josh Holobaugh and Cachoeira. So it's not really, that was a rear naked choke too, fucking hell. But yeah, it's not really looking good for Choi. I do want Choi to win this fight. I feel like this might be the last straw for him in the UFC. do want him to get like even a knockout, but I really highly doubt it. I feel like Kevin Vallejos striking, it's going to be too much for Seung Woo Choi. I feel like Choi will overextend one of his shots and get countered, and he'll get knocked out. So I don't. Yeah, he's a good fighter, but it's just his chin can be exposed at times. With Choi, so Vallejos the pick here. Yeah, KO. Yeah, that's very high, 91%. I am gonna go with 95% Kevin here. Vallejos, 5% Choi, so which is understandable. But hopefully Choi does save his job and get the win. Next up on the main card, Alexander Hernandez versus Holobaugh. Alexander Hernandez is coming off a win there against Austin Hubbard, split win. And he's lost against Damon Jackson. Like, fuck, Damon's alright, it's not that great. Bill Algier lost, win against Jim Miller. Look, Alexander Hernandez, he's okay. He's not the best. He's more of a guy who will stay on the striking, there's some leg kicks, he's a jab pretty well as well. But yeah, he's more. I feel like he more could be better. He's wrestling, so he would use the takedowns at times. But yeah, he's been striking a lot there, so I feel like he's just not there anymore. I feel like he's not up there with the top level opponents on the top 15. The game's definitely changed, so he has been striking a fair bit, using some leg kicks, and yeah, the grappling, he did have some nice grappling exchanges there and did lose against Jackson. Someone like Kurt Holobaugh here, he's more of a guy who will push forward, dirty box, grapple, try to slow down an opponent with his grappling against the fence there, and use some knees and elbows in the clinch. He does get taken down a bit though, Kurt Holobaugh, I've noticed that, but he's good on setting up submissions from his back too, so yeah, it's a bit of a hard one because I feel like Holobaugh is getting a bit old there. And if Alexander Hernandez is not stationary, he does use a bit of footwork and not get trapped up against the fence there, and Kurt Holobaugh has his way with his clinching and dirty boxing, he could really get the best of Hernandez. But yeah, it's a bit of a skeptical one, this one. I'm gonna go with low confidence pick Hernandez and 26% Holobaugh. I hope Alexander Hernandez uses wrestling here as well, get some takedowns and not stay on the striking too much. Next up, we've got Blackshear versus Cody Gibson. With this fight here, Blackshear, he did come off a pretty bad loss against Montel Jackson, got knocked out really early on in that fight, and came back and won against Cody Stammen with a rear naked choke. So striking wise, he's very tall and rangy with it. It's like he mixed up some leg kicks. He's not the best striker, but more of a grappler and very good in the ground with his jiu-jitsu. Striking wise, does use a jab a lot and some straight shots, but I don't really rate him because like also his chin I noticed his chin was a bit in the air as well in the last fight, so he does have those problems where he does keep his chin in the air, but he's definitely good with getting the fight to the ground and using a lot of grappling, a lot of clinching, knees in the clinch, and once he gets this fight on the ground, he's definitely got his way of setting up submissions. So we could get a submission win with Blackshear over Cody Gibson. Cody Gibson's more of a guy that will pressure strike, and he also uses grappling and uses to get fight to the ground and uses ground and pound, and also tries to set up submission. But I feel like Blackshear might be better on the ground compared to Cody Gibson here, but Cody Gibson's definitely going to be clinching a lot here, try to wear on Blackshear. But I think Damon should be okay here. I feel like the fight will hit the ground. I feel like we could get a submission with Blackshear over Gibson. Gibson's only losses pretty much Miles Jones, elite wrestler, and Brad Katona. Win over Keller and Brad. I think Brian's not even in the UFC anymore. And Chad there had a win over Chad and Helga. Chad and Helga's not that great, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Blackshear with this matchup. 10% Gibson, 90% Blackshear. So I'm gonna go with Blackshear on this one. I feel like you could get a submission win on the ground here. And even try to control the fight there with his grappling. So yeah, Damon's a pick there. Next up, we've got Diyar Nurgozhay versus Brendson Ribeiro. Both guys are strikers. but I feel like Diyar's striking is going to be a lot better, and his defense is going to be a lot better. He is coming off a win streak. Did get a KO win over Bateau's to Wiz chick. Oh my god, he had a head kick. Bateau just did pretty much lean to the head kick and got knocked out. So Diyar's more of a guy will use a lot of leg kicks and body kicks. He targets the body a lot and uses a lot of head kicks too. He's got some decent jabs as well himself, but output wise, probably not the highest. But again, this is a light. I think it's a light heavyweight. Yeah, this is a light heavyweight bout. But yeah, he's very good. Was very good on his striking, so he does have a lot of power in his hands as well. And Brendson Ribeiro is known to be getting knocked out by Binyang Zhang. Majority, he was taken down against Magomed and had a majority loss against her. And that Caio Machado's fight with Brendson was fucking shocking, man. I've never seen two fighters throw like low output in that fight. Caio Machado is not that great, man, and he lost to him with a split. The both guys throw low output, looks shocking. Defense is shocking. Offense striking was shocking. They were both bad. I don't rate Brendson Ribeiro as a decent fighter. I just feel like he's just not it, man. I think he'll get knocked out this fight. Ribeiro 8%. Diyar's got 92%, so I'm gonna go with D with this one too. I think he's gonna get the knockout. Next up, we've got the co-main event: Elizeu Zaleski versus Chidi Njokuani. With this matchup here, Elizeu is coming up a win. Zach Scroggin came in late replacement of that fight too. He did get a KO over him. Elizeu more of a guy, will pressure strike. More so overwhelm his, tries to get his opponents on the back foot, use some leg kicks and push forward and use some combinations. He's more of a guy that would try to get these fights on the ground too. So he uses grappling, try to get submissions on his sleeve. So more of a grappler than anything, but he's very good on chopping that leg as well. I've noticed as well in his fights, but yeah, he's also coming up with age as well. I've noticed as well. So Zaleski going against someone like Chidi Njokuani. Chidi does have some holes getting taken down. I've noticed taken down by Jared Gooden. Reese, he had a split win and lost to Mikel, lost to Albert Durev, and lost to Gregory Rodriguez. I feel like when he got that loss against Gregory Rodriguez, his career went downhill. He was getting knockouts over everyone. So Chidi Njokuani will use some leg kicks, some front kicks to the body, uses a jab, and he's got some power in his right hand too. But at the moment, it's not really looking good because his fights are getting a decision. He also was taken down. He's very good in the clinch there, throwing knees and elbows. So he does have a deadly couple of elbow knockouts there on his record. So he's definitely bread and butter is the clinch and the leg kicks there with Chidi Njokuani. Takedown defense not all that great, to be honest. So I feel like Elizeu Zaleski will get the fight on the ground and even get a submission win over here and use some ground and pound. Yeah, I think it'll be a decision win. I feel like Zaleski's going to be a lot better. Yes, he's coming of the age, but he's definitely got the experience over Chidi. Chidi 80%, 82% Zaleski, so I'm going to go with Zaleski here. Next up, we've got the main event. Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze. Not the best main event. So both guys have fought before. Marvin, very stationary, doesn't have the best footwork, doesn't have the best head movement. He's coming up a loss almost 2 years ago against Jared Cannonier. He got picked apart by Jared Cannonier. He was even taken down by Jared Cannonier. Vettori is just not that great. He's definitely getting past it, and I think he's noticed himself as well. By putting out a tweet saying, Adesanya, you should fight me. I'm an easy fight. Like, self-awareness good, but yeah, definitely getting past it. So yeah, his striking is not bad. Look, low output. He's more of a guy that used to go get some decent wins by decision and by getting the fight onto the ground. So yeah, he used to use his wrestling a bit and try to get the fight to the ground, even try to set up submissions. Kind was it Kevin Holland? I think he kind of exposed Kevin Holland, taking him down as well. So yeah, definitely not the best striker. This is, and then going against someone like Roman Dolidze, he's not the best as well. If you see the first fight, you know he used to have a lot of he used to have a lot of knockouts back in the day, but now when he's going against the top 10, he did lose to Imamov. He did lose to Vettori. Did string wins against Anthony Smith and Kevin Holland, and they're not the best best wins. So Dolidze striking not that great. He will push forward and use some jabs and some leg kicks and tries to load up on his right hand there. So both guys not the best with footwork or striking. They're more better on the ground game. So Dolidze will probably try to pressure strike and try to get some takedowns, because Vettori does, every time Vettori's what do you call it, on the stand up, I've noticed he does go on his back foot a lot. So maybe if Roman Dolidze does use his pressure strike and try to get Marvin Vettori on the back foot there and use some takedowns, because Jared Cannonier did have a lot of success, but Roman Dolidze is no Jared Cannonier either. So yeah, both guys aren't the best. So both guys are not the best at striking. Yeah, both guys don't throw very much output. But Roman Dolidze is good on the ground too. Like, he could get the fight to the ground and accept submissions. So he's got a lot of submissions on his record. Very good with jiu-jitsu. He's got some nice knee bar submissions as well. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a decision win. Decision go to a decision. More of a who's gonna be better in this fight, because the problem with Vettori is he hasn't had much what do you call it, activity. He hasn't had fight for over almost 2 years, while Dolidze's last win was 3 months ago with taking Kevin Holland down, and Kevin Holland injured himself with a rib. And last one, Anthony Smith. So this is not a very good main event by the UFC. They need to be shot by putting this as a main event. But yeah, I'm gonna go Roman Dolidze here. I know a lot of people are picking Vettori, but I'm gonna go Dolidze. It's just, I'm gonna go with a guy with more activity here. Look, Vettori is good, but I just don't. Yeah, I just don't know about this matchup. It doesn't really bother me if I get this wrong either. It's just not a great main event. So Roman Dolidze is the pick here. Yeah, he's not a good striker himself too. Fucking hell. But yeah, Roman Dolidze is the pick. Look, the undercard's good. Not like very good, but if you guys seen some of the fights, like guys come out of the contenders, and this is what the UFC is trying to do. They're trying to build up some of these guys coming out of contender series. Check out some of their fights to see who they are. André Lima is another decent one. But yeah, it's an okay card. It's not the best card, to be honest. It's more of a filler card. So yeah, it's alright. Yeah, after this weekend, we've got Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. So that's going to be a lot better card than this. So anyways, guys, those are my picks and predictions. Hit the like, subscribe. I'm sorry for not being motivated by doing this card here. It's really, yeah, it just didn't really motivate me to break this card down. I didn't really enjoy it. So anyways, guys, we'll be back next week with Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. And then yeah, we've got some decent cards coming up after that Brady Edwards versus Brady. Anyways, hit like, subscribe. We'll be back next week. Cheers. Take care, guys. Stay safe.